Uh, don't kill me. As many of you know, Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse is the newest animated film by Sony to create a Spider-Man universe, and it is the story and origin of Miles Morales, aka the Black Spider-Man, teenager, kid, thing. Anyways, it's doing pretty good, making pretty good money, had a lot of talent behind it. The main reason I went was because, Nicolas Cage was in it, and Nicolas Cage is awesome. But other than that, I went. Let me give some pros, because if you read the title of this, I have one flaw with the movie. Visually, it is stunning. The story is cohesive, interesting, objectively, a very good story with touching moments. The problem I have with the movie, well, I suppose I have something problem with the movie and then the problem with the reception of the movie. Let me talk about the reception. The first thing about the reception is that when the movie first came out, I was watching all these reviews for them, and people were like, this is an amazing Spider-Man movie. This is the best Spider-Man movie. Spider-Man 2 used to hold that, but now this movie's the best Spider-Man movie. And I was like, dang, better than Spider-Man 2 that's held that position? Not only is the best Spider-Man film, but one of the best superhero films of all time. And even so much as to go far as saying one of the top 10 best films of all time. That is really, really high praise. So, I heard all these channels talking about how wonderful it was, and some reviewers were just like, you could tell that they were just saying it because of diversity. Oh, diversity! But I have to say, and say to the movie, thank you for not forcing it. It wasn't like, oh, I'm a black character, so I have to do black things, and let me promote black stuff. Or I'm Asian, so I need to promote Asian stuff. It was just, they acted normal. They acted like normal people. So I was like, oh, thank goodness. It's not promoting an agenda or a social issue. It's just being normal people who just happen to look different. That's awesome. Thank you so much. I was able to have emotional moments with the characters that I could totally buy and understand and sympathize with. Very well done. Very well done. But the problem I have is that people are praising it so much. But the only emotional moments I had, and this ties into my personal gripe with the movie, is, which is really isn't a gripe against the movie, it's just a personal thing. But it is, the only emotional moments I had were with Peter Parker. Spoiler alert, just letting you guys know. But there's a scene in the movie where Peter, who is from another universe, has to confront Aunt May, who's Peter Parker in that universe is dead. And so they knock on the door. Peter tries to run away. Miles is like, no, you gotta talk to her. Pulls him back. Right as soon as she opens the door and sees him. And I choked up. I was like, oh, Aunt May. Oh, Peter. I was like, this is so nice. And then there's another scene where Peter talks to Mary Jane, and due to the events in the movie, it becomes extremely emotional for him to talk to her, and I almost got choked. I almost got choked up on that one, but it was really, really well done. And so basically, what my personal gripe with the movie is, I grew up with Spider-Man as Peter Parker, and I'll always look at that as, Spider-Man. No matter how many other Spider-Man they are, the noir character, the anime version, the Peter Porker, all the versions that they have in the movie, and as well as in the comic books, Spider-Gwen and all that, I will always hold Peter Parker as the Spider-Man, the definitive Spider-Man. It is Peter Parker. Well, what about Miles Morales? No. It's Peter Parker. And then if people were to go so far as, well, what's the definitive Peter Parker in your opinion? Well, I am very subjective in that sense, which I would automatically have to say is Tobey Maguire. Tobey Maguire is Spider-Man. Personally, I think Sony's being really stupid because honestly, if they made a Spider-Man 4, bringing back the original cast as well as Sam Raimi to write and direct it again, they are going to make easily $1 billion movie. I would go watch that opening night, and then I might watch it 2 to 3 more times in theater because Sam Raimi Spider-Man trilogy defined me as a human being and was a part of my childhood, an integral part of it. So, anyways, that's just a little tangent. But so with the whole Miles Morales story, I didn't feel a emotional connection to him because I really don't care. I mean, his suit's cool. He's a cool kid. You know, I understand his relationship with his mom and his dad and his uncle. But I don't feel the emotional weight that Peter Parker gives. I think Peter Parker is a much more relatable character because Miles in the movie is cool. He's interesting. He's like, "Hey guys, what's up?" And he's like, shaking hands and being all cool. Not everyone can relate to that, but a lot of people can relate to Peter Parker. Look back at Spider-Man 1, where he kind of just is by himself. He's really awkward. He makes a fool out of himself in front of other people all the time. That is someone that a lot more people can relate to. And it's the Miles Morales in this movie acts a lot like the Peter Parker of Andrew Garfield, which a lot of people were not able to connect with. Am I saying that's a bad thing? No, not at all. There are a lot of people who are like that, and that's cool if that's his personality. That's fine. People have to be different. But personally to me, subjectively, Peter Parker is a person that I can sympathize with and relate to and connect with a lot more so than Miles Morales. So, for people to go out so far as to say this is the best Spider-Man movie, hold your bucket there, buddy boy. This Spider-Man movie is a lot better than the Amazing Spider-Man movies. I would go so far as to say this is better than Spider-Man Homecoming. I would not put it past the Raimi trilogy. Even the third one. I love the third one. That just might be a subjective thing for me growing up as a kid. That's fine. But I would not look at this movie and go, "Oh my god, best Spider-Man movie ever." There's a lot of Spider-Man movies that are better than this one. I can name you 3 right off the top of my head. So, was the movie bad? No. Was the movie great? No. Was it good? Yeah. It's a fun time to watch. It has funny moments. But I don't think it's this amazingly groundbreaking film, other than the fact that they use an animation style that's never been seen before. And I think that in itself is groundbreaking. And I think it does deserve a award nomination for Best Visual Effects, because I've never seen an animation like that. I think that deserves high praise, because it was gorgeous. But the emotional weight of the movie was not there with me. I didn't feel anything with Miles. Like, when his uncle, spoiler alert, when his uncle passed away and Miles was crying in the alley, I was like, man, that's really sad. That sucks. But I wasn't, caring. I didn't care. I was like, oh, well, he was doing bad things. I mean, okay. I feel bad for him. And then the thing with his dad at the door. But, maybe that's just me and my life. That's fine. Which is fine. So, tell me what you thought about Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. What do you think they're going to do next? If they're going to do a sequel. They most likely will do a sequel. They've invested too much time and money into it. So just let me know what you think. Please subscribe, comment below. And as always, ladies and gentlemen, may the force be with you and be excellent to each other.